such an asshole.
So this is part 2 from a 2-part request from a client who kindly paid to provide you guys a PSA about working in tech during a recession. Says, anyway, this will be my last request for a bit until I get used to the flow of the coursework. I wanted to get a good one in. File this under Enjoy the Decline. And the title is, now keep in mind, this is from Cal Matters. This is probably a government financed communist leftist organization staffed by a bunch of worthless people. And oh my God, the vector to get your money is like, oh my goodness, like, you remember Paul Headstone? They called him Wellstone, but he died in a plane crash. He was a communist parasitic piece of shit fuck. But he wanted to, I think he was instrumental, and they achieved in getting that you could get a disability for mental illness. This was like 25, 30 years ago. And it passed, and the adults' logical concern was you can fake mental illness. Oh, no, we totally wouldn't totes my go to do that. So about us, let's just go. I'll just go. Cal Matters. We're funded. Yeah, you're funded. Funding. Ba 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 ba. We spend our majority funding on reporters, editors, photographers, and reasons. Oh, shut the fuck up. You're a nonprofit journal. Get the fuck out of here. Foundation and grants 52%, so you get taxpayer money, right? I mean, prove me wrong. Your journalists say, no, here are the receipts. So we are giving you our money so you could play your little make-believe hobby there as a grown-up adult. Our team, they're all journalists. A fat chick. That's Muhammad Al-Ilu, journalism engineer. What the hell is a journalism engineer? Computer science. How'd you fail this, buddy? Anna, audience engagement, blah, Berkeley, California Voices, journalism, Thomas Apagata, journalism. It's nothing. Hang on. Well, wait a minute. You guys got you got a Twitter account. How many followers you got? Do you have more than I do? You have 1,400 followers. Adam has 5,000. It switches to the login page. You don't have 6. Who's this guy? Yosef. He has 2,004. Okay. You're not this. You're not real. This is. Here's what I want everyone in my audience. I'm not criticizing the client, but let's all get a little more street smart. It takes nothing to create a website, call yourself a nonprofit, have a bunch of fucking unemployed people. Like, have you ever looked at an independent journal's or freelance journal's resume? It's just one place to the other, to the other, to the other. And they don't list that the entire time, either living off their parents or they're working some other kind of real job, like whether it's a barista or DoorDash or anything. I'm not criticizing those jobs. I'm just saying these aren't real. I mean, the real people. This isn't real journalism. This is, it's a blog. It's a blog. It's just, and surprise, they want more money. It's just so tiring. It's just a bunch of you adult children not wanting to work real jobs, and you keep trying and trying and trying to make journalism pay to the point you need. Am I wrong? You guys get government money? And that'd be okay. Like, I'll give NPR credit. Like, they got Money Planet. Like, they have some good stuff. But, wow, another shitty leftist website. I hate to say this, but it almost makes me yearn for the days when your main leftist sites were like The Nation, The Guardian, Mother Jones. Let's just throw in Miss in there. Where, okay, were they leftist? Sure. Did I disagree with them? Of course. But at least they try to make a go at it on their own. At least they rep it. Now every Tom, Dick, and Harry, oh my God, free shit for other people. Pay me, please. Isn't this a tired racket? Isn't this white collar panhandling getting a little tired? Don't you get tired of standing on the corner When you want to go and do the one guy's got a degree in engineering. What are you doing, buddy? You're smart enough to go do something productive. I know. This is why, oh, dude, I'm so happy they start cutting the funding to like USAID and all these, the Department of Homeland Security, all that money that went to that, what is it, Hate Matters or something that it did hit piece on us. Go get real jobs. Cal Matters. They called for urgent help with a mentally ill loved one while California police refused. Let me tell you why. Two reasons. One, it's not their responsibility, and two, it's not in the budget. How many of you dipshits were ACABs? All cops are bastards. How many of you, what really? I want to know how many of you in your audience, all three people that probably read this website, were against the cops. You want them defunded. I can't even get excited or angry about this shit anymore. A bunch of washed up nobodies wrote a leftist puff piece on their own self-creation. Go ahead. My nieces play doll. Well, they play Batman and doll because Batman, they like Batman. So he always plays a critical role in whatever epic saga is going on with Dollhouse. Will Batman return in? Yes, he's there. He's always in an episode of Dollhouse. And here's what's sad is I don't have to read this article to know what it's going to say because these people are not independent-minded human beings. They're not. They're socialist little robots. They're NPCs. These are not well, they might be intelligent. They're sadly not using it. It's going to be the same thing. Topic A, let me rephrase that. Example A of group A having trouble. Why didn't rest of world solve A's problem? It's not the cops' problem. It's not the cops' responsibility. And you probably defunded them. And you voted pro-crime, so they're probably dealing with more important shit. There's the third reason they didn't respond. Are we going to arrest illegal aliens? Are we going to put people in jail? Are you going to pass laws where you can have open drug markets and you can steal $900 and not get charged? I think at a certain point, you got to wonder, look, it's not even communists. Are you anarchists? Do you want no sense or sensibility? Do you want everyone just to starve and die? It's going to happen to you guys too. Susanna's Sacramento County home bears the scars of her daughter's mental illness. Not my problem. There is the lump on the wall is the father available for comment? Susanna's Sacramento County home bears the scars of her daughter's mental illness. There's a lump on the wall near the entry patched after the girl, now 17, busted through the drywall. On a recent day, a double door and a bulky box awaited installation replaced the splintered entry in the bedroom and she shares with her husband. Okay, so we are married. Is her husband the daughter's father? The rages began when the girl was in the 4th grade, said Susanna, whose last name Cal Matters withholding to protect the daughter's identity. In recent years, the family has resorted to calling 911. Why don't you get some medical help or psychological help? Susanna said she has sustained a black eye and other minor injuries while fine-tuning her daughter's medications. I'm pressing D for doubt. How'd she get the black eye? Which include an antipsychotic. That's horrible for your daughter. I do believe there are real mental disorders. I believe most mental disorders are fake and fraudulent and overdiagnosed, but I do believe there are genuine mental disorders. Sounds like some real problems. I deal with what they call schizophrenics all the time, surprisingly. Sounds like it's bad. How is this my problem? How is this the cops' problem? Mostly, she said they've called in desperation for help when they had nowhere else to turn. But did you vote Democrat? They've been able to assist, whether it be take her to the hospital for a 5150 hold or just de-escalating the situation, said Susanna, using the Welfare and Institutions Code shorthands 5150 for an involuntary psychiatric evaluation to the danger of self or others a grave disability. Stating earlier last year, though, Susanna noticed that the law enforcement seems more disinterested in those calls. Then as another crisis unfolded February 7th, probably because someone's getting shot. Sheriff's department made it clear they would not be coming out to a call. This okay, having worked with police departments before. Are you a problem address? Right? All the cops know I'm talking about. Like, yeah, we know that family. Yeah, we know that guy. Yeah, we know that address. Like, after a while, they're just like, yeah, you know what? We're not your babysitters and we're done with this shit. Oh, dude, if I was a police chief and there was all this fighting going on in a particular neighborhood, oh my God. Like, what was it? The Walmart in Brooklyn Center or Brooklyn Park? I forget which one. Closed down because they had, what was it? Like, was it 6,000 in 10 years? It was an absurd amount of 911 calls. And Walmart just says, no, we're closing down. Are you one of those? What the couple didn't a dispatcher asked her if the daughter had mental health issues. The husband said she did, not her father. Still wondering about that. I like how there's this one example. One example. I mean, there better be some stats at the end. Fuck it. Who cares? Well, the couple didn't realize due to a recent policy change, that detail kicked the call up to a supervisor and ultimately left Suzanne and her family left to fend for themselves. Good luck. How is it the cop's responsibility? Yeah, you injure yourself physically. Oh, you might want to call 911 and get an ambulance. All right, but your daughter's got mental health problems. How you got to deal with that? And if she needs to be institutionalized, she has to be institutionalized. How many times have you called the cops? Have you solved this problem? Somebody, not me, do something. Susanna said she saw her daughter heading back to the bedroom with a kitchen knife. She locked the door and was leaning against it to keep it from giving way under her daughter's blows as her husband spoke to the dispatcher. The 4-minute conversation ended when the dispatcher promised to have someone out there. Instead, a supervisor called the husband back. A call log states that they discussed the girl's extensive mental health issues and history of assault as the screaming and pounding continue. The supervisor then suggested the couple stay in the locked bedroom. Yeah, they're at danger now. No crime. The call log concludes. Sacramento Sheriff's Office not responding. Until there is one, then call when you're stabbed. Why a sheriff pulls deputies back on mental health cause. In early January, Sacramento County Sheriff Jim Cooper met with the county behavioral health emergency medical response. Here we're going to find out why we're not responding. To be perfectly honest, if I had a distraught young lady with a kitchen knife, I'd be like, yeah, we better send someone over there. But now let me ask you this. Are the cops allowed to institutionalize people? Well, we have a whole bunch of rules and laws that make it impossible. His department would no longer respond to mental health calls unless a crime had occurred, was in progress, or someone other than the person in crisis was deemed to be in imminent danger. Yes, if the gal grabbed a knife, then I said, but that meets his qualifications. While he'd been pondering the pullback for a year, he told them what pushed him to act was the 9th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals ruling that he believes heightens his officer's liability on non-criminal mental health cause. Let me guess, this is a leftist ruling. 9th U.S. Circuit Court's the clown show. Law enforcement officers are not trained mental health professionals, Cooper announced in a news conference a month later. We wear the badge, we carry the gun, we deal with crime, not mental health crises. So did someone in the past sue the cops because they weren't trained mental health crises people? Like your precious little son or daughter had an episode. Cops had to take them down, broke their arm, and then you sued the cops, right? Oh, you're not a medical health, you're not a psychological health professional. Is that what happened? So it's leftists causing leftist problems to leftists. Not a cop problem. When his department responds to calls that do involve crimes, he added they will be treated as a major event, suggesting they might result in arrest rather than transportation for care under the 5150 code. Cooper has called the change a hard reset, one he knew would be controversial. Good for him. Yet these issues have challenged policymakers for half a century because mental health illness isn't a crime. When should law enforcement be involved, if at all? Who is best suited to safely de-escalate a mental health crisis and coax a person to accept care? That would be the parents and, I guess, a mental health professional. And what if that person won't, or due to the nature of their psychosis or substance use? Oh, you mean drugs that they willingly put in their body? Okay. Agree to go voluntarily. Who will transport them for involuntary psychiatric hold? Parents, and if danger, I guess you got to get the cops involved. I guess you made that one impossible with the rules and the laws. Families of seriously ill loved ones say they've clamored for answers to that latter question for some time now. One desperate mother whose son recently needed to be taken to the hospital for urgent evaluation resorted to hiring a bounty hunter. Why was your son? Was dad not around? Sure is a lot of fathers missing in these examples. California under Gavin Newsom has taken bold steps to broaden access to care for people with untreated psychotic illnesses and substance use disorders, including expanding the legal definition of grave disability under the 5150 code. That law is, well, at least the liberal white women felt good. All you broads over in Marin County felt good about this. That's the most important part. The law is expected to compel more people to receive treatment. Its success depends in part on transporting those in crisis for evaluations, even if they won't go voluntarily. Man, that sounds like a lot of work to babysit your mentally ill. That just sounds like a lot of work. When you raise your kids to be mentally ill, you kick dads out of the house. You don't have no rules. You don't have no laws. Everything's free. Sounds like a lot of work. Its success. Just a week after Sacramento County implemented the new law, Sheriff Cooper informed his partners of his policy shift. Now, as he publicizes his position, I will admit this is a well-written article. It's not AI. This is well-written. His position at law enforcement conference and webinar and through his own podcast, some other agencies have followed his lead. Cooper cites his 8 years at the state assembly as instructive. There, he said in an interview, we always heard, hey, we don't want law enforcement responding to mental health calls. I come back as sheriff, and I've seen a lot of bad outcomes in California across the nation. Sometimes introducing a badge gun can really make it go sideways. Yeah, well, during the riots, were California cops treated well by California people? Dude, if I was a cop in California or any major metro city, I'm not. Oh, did you get robbed? That's too bad. We'd like to help you, but I don't know. You vote Democrat and you hate my guts, and I'm the pig. I think there was an example of they had someone that got hit by a car or something. They got injured, and the cops had to respond. And that person was Minneapolis, and that person was found out, like, their social media was like, all a cab and get rid of the police and all. And then the first thing to do was call 911. Cooper was sworn in 2 months after a fatal deputy-involved shooting of a man in psychosis whose wife called for help as he threatened to hurt himself with a machete. Oh, no! Oh, well! Literally, listen to me. You know whose problem that is? It's that guy's problem. It's not my problem. It's the wife's problem. She's adjacent to it. She might get injured, too. She might lose her husband. And cryptic as it might be to say that, that's not my problem. Right? Don't give me this fucking liberal, touchy-feely, bleeding heart bullshit. But they're human beings. Oh, like, so you've cared about me? Straight white man with a dick who votes conservative? Or do you want me on a camp? Or do you want me to know no peace? Right? Knock this fucking shit off. How is, even if it's innocent psychosis, right? They got a genuinely mental ill problem. How is that my problem? Right now, I'm running a little bit low on gas. Are you going to pay for my gas? Admittedly, it's not the same as psychotic. There's a line. It's not our problem. Sorry, you deal with it. Thor died of brain cancer. It was his problem. He had to deal with it. This guy thinks he should end himself with a machete. That sounds like too bad for him. Don't worry, you California, right? Cal Matters, what's your solution? We need more training and qualifications for cops to be psychologists, interveners with guns, or no. Lost enough already, not doing this. I bet you there's some cops in there, like, because, drugs are all over the place, and that is a willing thing. I'm sure you guys got enough. I'm sure you guys are so sick and tired. It's already tiring babysitting the criminals of the world. It's gotta be extra pain in the ass dealing in when they're mentally ill and or on drugs. He died 23 seconds after the lone deputy arrived. So the cop died? Last March, another such shoot my cop was sworn in. Oh, deputy involved shooting. Okay, so the cop shot the guy with the machete. No kidding, huh? Well, maybe we should just go arrest the cop, huh? Right, California? I got a question for you lefties in California. Do you think fathers and patriarchy and rule of law and what's the word? It's like legal violence, like no, we will do things by force. Did you think that was an option? I don't care anymore. Last March, another such shooting took the life of a mentally ill man whose sister called 911 as he cut himself in the bathtub with a knife. Well, so look, man, you guys want to end it? I'm not stopping you. Why is your desire to live our responsibility? Litigation is pending in both cases. Fuck you then. Fucking Christ. What a bunch of spoiled assholes. God almighty. Susanna has seen Cooper's and mouse on TV 3 nights later. She braced herself against the bedroom door. It didn't cross her mind. Instead, she was shaken by the lack of response by law enforcement. It felt like a volatile and potentially dangerous situation. At that moment, well, can you blame them? I feel bad for the lady. I mean, her daughter's mentally ill. I'm going to assume so. But the cops' hands are tied because you tied their hands. At that moment, you're just thinking, we need to get help here and now before this escalates further. She said, who's going to assist my family in these situations? You're going to save yourself. And not only my family, but other families like mine whose child might be more aggressive, might actually kill them or hurt them very badly. You solve your problems and put them in an institution. Why is this person on an institution? Who's going to step in and stop that before it's too late? The father. Oh, wait. When other responders want a police backup, like many jurisdictions, Sacramento County has been. How long is this? Oh, buddy, this is a long article. Is this? But despite her legal paperwork to law enforcement, I'm just going to decline to touch her son. Paula Fox first called 911 as he sat in florid psychosis in a Tustin restaurant. When he emerged, Tustin police officers watched him walk away. They said they cannot engage with him unless he's committed a crime, she said, that they no longer help transport or lay hands on anybody who has a mental illness. Paula Fox, did you vote Democrat? And even if you didn't, well, enough people did, and here are the rules. Oh my God, remember when we voted in those rules? Oh my God, the cops are obeying the rules. I don't have time for this. I'm not trying to get out of it. It's just fire district nurse practitioner. It's a very thorough article, I'm sure. Team tactics. God, all this babysitting and all these rules. Cops spend more times worrying about the rules, following the rules, and fighting crime. New push to change California law on mental health. Back in Sacramento County, behavioral health and Metro Fire officials say they've begun talks with the Sheriff Cooper's department to map out a path forward. The review commission has impaneled a committee to examine the legal interpretation of Scott versus Smith, Cooper's rollout of the policy and the protocols regarding when his department will and won't respond. The committee has also been digging into the February incident involving Susanna's daughter. She had called into the commission meeting 11 days later to describe her horror at the lack of response given her daughter's threats and the knife Susanna saw in her hand. But there is a dispute. In an interview, Susanna's husband, so this isn't the dad, just say it's not the dad, said he's pretty sure I said she went and grabbed a knife. He said he was adamant about wanting to press charges, but he said the supervisor told him, we don't step in on mental calls. I said, well, it's assault. And he said, she has to actually hit you guys for it to be assault. He said he was adamant about wanting to press charges. Okay, so this is like the stepdad who stepped up. Hey, there you guys go. Here's my 17-year-old mentally ill daughter who likes to play with knives. Will you marry me? Oh, so he wanted to press charges, but they can't, right? And you can't discipline her because, you're the stepdad. You don't have the oh my God, no. California, stupid people. Stupid people, stupid people, stupid people, stupid people. Shit, 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 feces, shit, 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 traffic. 911 was recorded. Supervisor follow-up calls were not. But the summary log of the incident, which the sheriff's department provided to Calamaz, paints a different picture. Not holding any knives or potential weapons, it states. The husband, it concludes, stated he does not wish to pursue charges. Idea of reform. Hang on, guys. The single mom with the mentally ill daughter is going to tell us what her idea for reforms. That those calls from supervisors who, according to the policy, make the final decision on whether to respond to mental health crisis be recorded. Okay, it's not irrational. There's no accountability. They can say the sky was green. You have to go with it. Sheriff Stokes said only families, no doubt, going through a lot. It's a practice. Family advocates of those with serious mental illness, along with Polony, Hopper, and Wenzel, have been meeting with state legislators to craft a potential bill that would allay law enforcement liability concerns and enable clinicians to more easily call for involuntary 5150 holes. A similar bill failed to advance last year. Whose problem this sounds like? Sounds like a Californian's problem. It's not my problem. This is your problem. Get fucked if you don't like my attitude. Fucking mentally ill state. I wonder why the kids are turning out mentally ill. Oh, work in progress. Totally in chess. Good for you. Good for you. I'm surprised. I thought it would be more leftist horse shit. This actually is a well-written article. Too bad no one reads it because you guys cumulatively have less followers than I do, and I'm not a fucking journalist. Let's go to the super chats. Real $5. I spent a fair amount of time working with LEOs, law enforcement officers. You don't want them handling your mental health. They can barely manage their own most of the time. Yeah, isn't cops number 2 for self-deletion? I love how the cops are kind of like accountants. Like, they're just taking advantage of, like, well, you're just supposed to do my taxes. You're just supposed to do everything for me. My daughter's acting like a bitch. Okay. Well, you need to do something about it. Why don't you raise your daughter? Mr. Nominate, $5. Beep, beep, boop. Socialist robots say thing to get free slave labor goods. Yes. Yes. Boo boo. Hey, man. Our Philippine agent in the field for 50 Philippine pesos. Come on now. Everyone but me is responsible but for me. Exactly. Exactly. You know what? I have nothing but the utmost of faith that the California Assembly and Governor Newsom will pass a great law and all your problems will go away. Because it can't possibly be you're the world's shittiest community of Americans ever in the history of ever. Can't possibly be you people. You're just so fucking college educated. Inquisitor Tibby, $10. This is in California, the same California where San Francisco mayor is begging retired cops to come back to work. Oh, well, sounds like a them problem. Oh my, is that happening? San Francisco mayor. I was there like 3 years ago. Begs retired cops to come back. Is this still the black lady? I want to know. Daniel. No, they got a new guy. Begging. Oh, residents. That's the residents begging California Governor Newsom to send in highway patrol to combat crime. Wait, the San Francisco, you vote for this shit. So here's a cop defending himself not guilty after a 2-day standoff shooting that injured a wife. Oh. Defund police activist begs cops to find stolen U-Haul. I don't see anything about the San Francisco. Who is the San Francisco mayor now? Daniel Lurie. I think I may have heard of this guy. Was he a city councilman and he like never worked a day in his life? I think that's the guy. Daniel Lurie, maybe. Daniel Lurie. Just give me, I want to know about, I think this is it. He's like a trust fund baby. As elected 2020 incumbent London Breed. Was London Breed the black gal? Tipping Point Community. Yeah. Yeah, I think this is it. Mimi Haas. His mom is mom is a billionaire. You trust fund kids can't do anything. You can't do anything right. Yep, sounds like a them problem. I don't. Are you Democrats that dumb? I mean, really, maybe it's not as immediate as your central nervous system, but what you're doing here is you're taking a hammer, you put your hand on it, and you hit your hand with the hammer. You're like, oh, that hurts. Somebody do something. Do you not see how you're the cause of your problem? Are you so wedded to your little? It's not even socialist. Like even the Soviets had rule of law, right? You couldn't steal. Do you not connect it? Are you that blinded by it? Do you still hope things are going to work out well? Did you know, Mad Toucan? Remember Dr. Nick walking malpractice The Simpsons? Yeah. Hello, everybody. Femboy Fantasia, $5. One of the reasons I quit doing security was the ever increasing and tedious drug and mental health crises. Yeah, I didn't like doing security is real easy. Just walk away. You're not a cop. Civilian dressed in a cop-like uniform. And I really didn't like doing armed security because that meant that there might be a reason this person needs protection. So there's a threat. And I'm kind of a meat shield. But I can't, unless I'm shot at or something, like it's the same rules. I got to defend myself and I'm paid to defend the guy, but nah. I didn't like the fact, and in Minnesota, oh, they'll go after you. One of our precious criminals shot you. Don't you know you're supposed to die for him? We love our criminals here. You're going to jail because you shot back. Albino, $5. But Cappy, I want the broke Beamer boomer as my sugar mama. Okay, you can have her. And cheers to the foam, $2. Can't listen to you at gym chuckling looking psycho. Well, you're going to have to listen to me driving or something else. All right. Link below, I got How Not to Become a Millennial. It's a book on how the boomers lied to you all about like literally everything that was really important. And now we have the millennials who are suffering tremendously with fake and real mental health illness, certainly depression, sadness, poverty, basically California. So if you'd like to get out of it, you can't be listening to your parents who never loved you in the first place. And well, oh my God, we must feed you organic tofu because we're in California. Like, get that book so you know how you were lied to and how to get out of it. Yes, you'll have to give up your socialist religion. It's not politics, it's a religion. All right. See you guys later, Toodles.